to control things all over the globe, giving him all this credit, all this power, and no one's even questioning if that, you know, obviously I've talked to Margaret, she said they do actually have some really good hackers. So,
well, the point is that Russia has the will when our own government run by criminals is trying to overthrow their elections and trying to start a war. Russia's never got involved in modern times in our politics, but Russia knows we're run by globalists that have taken us over.
Right.
It's in their interest to let us know, hey, carbon taxes are to rip you off.
Right. And
thank God Russia did that. We'd have them right now.
Right. And Putin's coming out speaking in public right there on camera saying, Americans, your media is lying to you. They're telling you everything is safe out here. And World War III is right at your doorstep thanks to your government. And it's the same thing. The DNC.
Absolutely. Russia has 3 bases. Russia is trying to stop collapsing.
Yeah.
Russia is trying to just survive. They're not a threat. Communist China is a threat because the globalists are allied with it. China and the globalists are the threat. China and the globalists are the threats. China and the globalists are the threats. China and the globalists. Let me explain something, folks. We have foreign multinational banks that got 76% of the banker bailouts. Okay? We are wide open. We are a joke. These foreign banks will sell the same house 100 times. They will sell the loan 100 times in many cases. The average is like 25 times. It's total fraud. The globalists are an alien criminal world government system. And by alien, I mean outside of America, at war with nation states. And Putin has come out, when the hacks came out 6 years ago that the Russians did do, they hacked the UN in East Anglia with over 1,000 universities coordinating fraudulent thermometer readings. Okay? Jacking numbers up because the Earth started cooling. It stopped heating 20 years ago, started cooling a decade ago. It's a fact. Total proof of the organized crime. Putin said it's a plan to bankrupt nation states. All Russia's got is its minerals and its oil and other systems it's selling to Europe. That gives Europe value. It keeps energy prices lower. The globalists don't want that competition. Russia doesn't dare sell its aerospace or technologies because it'll all be used against them. Okay, and so the issue here is this is some love fest with Russia. I've never been there, but I know the history of it. The point is that it was already taken over by the globalists and put under 80-something years of hell, and Russia still has mixed feelings about it all. There's different groups there, but Russia now has dialed into populism, dialed into the Renaissance, dialed into Alexander Solzhenitsyn and Alex Jones. I'm not bragging, and I'm not going to tell you the behind-the-scenes stuff, but just believe me, Russia's listening. And so is the UKIP is listening, and so is Donald Trump, okay? And I'm not going to sit there and brag and tell you behind-the-scenes stuff, but Little Bird's presidential nominees told me that, no, I'm going to stop right here. I said, is this off record? He says, no, it's not, but I'm not going to repeat this. This stuff, if I said it, would just be a big news story. I mean, big, okay? So I'm just going to stop right there, but just understand, the spirit of 1776 that we represent is worldwide. That doesn't mean America's going to run Russia or China or South Africa or Germany. It means the idea of the Renaissance and the open free society. We have the truth. We have the weapon. We have the light in the dark. We have what empowers, which is you. And you can look at the evil of the DNC leadership. Those are evil people who all hate each other. They're turned over to evil. And I saw a lot of goodness in people's eyes, a lot of love, a lot of passion, a lot of Americana in the people of every race, color, and creed I saw at the RNC. I mean, Leanne, what was the spirit like there? Then I'm going to your calls, I promise.
It was absolutely wonderful. I loved meeting so many different people, and they were so proud to come up and be like, I'm a black man, I'm voting for Trump. Heck yes, I'll speak on camera. You know, or Hispanics coming up to us and saying, we want to let people know that there are a lot of us out there. We're not ashamed to do this. We're not even
I get it all. And it's not just because they were there. It's not just because they went to that. It's all over Austin.
Right. No, I mean, it's everywhere. And I think that that's kind of a key point is the Democrats really are pushing for collectivism and putting us in these groups, and they want everyone to say, oh, well, you belong to this group and that group and your group. So rather than acknowledging
which is racism,
our individualism, they don't want us to be individuals because groups are easier to control.
They want to make us all uncomfortable so we don't associate with each other. Just forget all the uncomfortable crap. We got red blood. We want freedom. It's over. Thank you, Leanne.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to go to your calls now and take a lot of calls the next hour with Bracken joining us. Leanne, you're doing a fabulous job. It's great to have you here with us. I just love our crew.
Hey, by the way, I've got Billy Corgan Skyping in at midnight tonight. He's going to be taking people's calls. I'm super pumped.
Is it at midnight or 11?
Well, I'm going on at 10. I'm from 10 to 2. But, I mean, we've got Stan Deo coming on. Rob Dew is going to be there co-hosting with. We got a full thing for you.
By the way, Billy Corgan has a lot of courage to come on. Every other rock star I get on, They give him hell. I know they've given him hell. And you know what Billy Corgan said? Big red, white, and blue middle finger. And we don't mean the red, white, and blue of the globalists using us for imperialism. We mean the real red, white, and blue. We're taking that flag back.
Absolutely.
And God bless you. All right, very exciting time to be alive right now. Operation Sleeping Giant now in full swing, almost 2 hours in the 28-hour broadcast. Have you spread the link? Infowars.com/giant. Little actions together move mountains. It's the little actions that are actually the biggest. Jason in Florida, you're on the air worldwide. Thanks for holding.
It's an honor to actually speak to you finally, Alex.
Good to talk to you, my friend.
Well, this is awesome. I can't believe I'm talking to you right now. Anyways, just want to let you know my background, my bloodline is Puerto Rican, Cuban, and Sicilian. I was born in New York. My father was born in New York. He's Cuban and Sicilian. My mother is Puerto Rican. I'm a big-time Trump voter. I'm voting for Trump. My mother is too. I'm still trying to get my father to go that way. I went to see Trump here in Tampa. That's where I live. It was awesome, truthful, and funny. All right, they're poisoning us. They're poisoning the air. They're poisoning the water, and they're poisoning the food. These chemtrails are out of control. I go outside to cut my grass, and I have to cover, it's crazy. It's like 6, 7, 8.
And they admit there's a secret geoengineering program going on. The aluminum levels are going up. Exactly. Why are we all fighting with each other? There's a whole shadow government screwing us over, and Trump wants to try to take it back.
Exactly. And I'm outside.
I mean, don't we want a president in? Don't we want a president in that's an info warrior?
Yes, sir. And I'm outside. I have to cover my nose, my mouth, so I'm not breathing this crap in. I'm looking like I'm waging jihad on my lawn. All right? I want to say Monsanto. I think Trump should touch on Monsanto, definitely. Hillary's tied with Monsanto. They give her money. It's ridiculous. I mean, and
anything evil, she's involved in it. You just it's like Donald Rumsfeld. If it's evil, she's in it.
That's right. And I saw Clinton Cash last night. Awesome documentary. I challenge everyone to watch that and get your family to watch it as well. This is very important. I don't understand. I'm 31 years old. I don't understand what's wrong with some people in my generation, and they just don't.
They're in a trance. They're in a trance. They think if they go with the system, that's what's cool and successful because it's the system. They don't know. You don't want to be in the system. It's designed to limit you and control you and ultimately kill you. God bless you from Florida, Jason. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, there's no choice here. Trump is somewhat unknown, but I got to tell you, Hillary, we know what we're getting. You got to go against it. All right, John in Texas, Chris, Sean, Patrick, and others. Your phone calls are 70 seconds away. Hour number 3 is about to begin. I want to go to Tom in England. I want to go to Sean, Patrick, Chris, John, and others. Let's go to calls right now. Let's go ahead and talk to John in Texas. Go ahead, John. Thanks for holding.
Hi, Alex.
Welcome.
If history serves me right, during the First American Revolution, didn't our founding fathers send John Paul Jones to Russia to get his help in our fight for freedom?
We did get some help. In fact, I think he'd actually been in the Russian Navy, if memory serves. He'd served the czars, if memory serves. That's right. And the czars actually helped Lincoln, too, when the British... And again, I'm from the South. I had family that were high up in it, so I don't want to get into all that. I'm talking generals. But the point is they were manipulated by British intelligence to get into that war. The North was doing stuff that was wrong. But we were idiots to have that war. Sam Houston, founder of Texas, was thrown out of office as governor, even after Texas was in the Union. He'd been the president for that because he wasn't for it. So, yeah, the Russians have been helping America since the beginning of the country.
Don't you think this may be history repeating itself with Vladimir Putin coming in, helping us with our second Trump revolution?
Well, that's because Russia always has the proto-globalists trying to overthrow it. I mean, they're always dealing with... people have been trying to take over Russia for 800 years. So, yeah, Russia sees what's happened to us. They're not stupid. They know we... Look, but before, Russia was conquered for 80-something years by a globalist infection called communism. The globalists put the commies in. It's a fact. So they've partially gotten that disease out, and then they see us totally infected with it. So, yeah, it's in their own interest to try to stop it.
So, I hope that, I'm hoping that, after watching that freak show in Philadelphia, I'm hoping that Donald can pull it out and save us. Because
wouldn't it be great to see the United States and Russia and everybody else allied against collectivism and communism, and we could reform China, and humanity could really go to the next level? Imagine, notice the globalists always want us fighting with Russia. That's their plan. Imagine if those two European, Western powers allied, what would happen to the world with that technology? And there are good people on both sides who want that to happen, but it's always being sabotaged.
It'd be heaven on earth. We would have true heaven on earth if
we'd have damn close to it. I'm telling you, humanity has unlimited potential, but there are globalists that are always stirring up crises to gain control. And top professors have brought this out. It's not just me. Crisis is their brand. They don't produce anything but discord and mindlessness. And the time for countries to have conquest over each other is over. It's now time to have innovation and healthy competition. Instead of obsessing on sports, we should be obsessing on technology, undersea development, mathematics, interspace travel, huge work projects. The rock stars in the school should be, the kid that wins the science fair. I'm sorry, not the quarterback. Because what's the quarterback acting cool going to do once he gets out of college? He's going to go work at a corporation and be a yes man. We want innovators. We want poets and scientists and artists, okay? And fighters and trailblazers and innovators. I'll tell you, the heroes will be people that launch on a first colony space mission that's going to take, 80 years to get to the next planet. I mean, imagine watching that reality TV show. And, of course, by then, our technology will advance so much that we'll have jump ships that meet that ship before it even gets there. But the point is, we're going to do it, and it's not going to be some silicon takeover with the globalists playing God. Humanity is rising. The threat of the technotronic tyranny will be defeated. Thank you, John. Tom in England, you're up next, and then our guests. The Islamic attacks have gone from monthly to weekly to now daily to now multiple times a day. I have a stack of news to deal with on that. We're going to be talking to former Navy SEAL, best-selling author Matt Bracken of enemiesforeignanddomestic.com for the balance of this hour. The full schedule of the 26 hours of worldwide broadcast that is left is up at Infowars.com/giant, or simply go to Infowars.com and you can see the breakdown page that has all the feeds and the schedule of who's coming up. We also have a lot of surprise guests joining us. Our crew on the ground in Philadelphia with the riots and the communists and the socialists, the Black Lives Matter people. Stan Deyo, Joel Skousen, George Norrie, Billy Corrigan of Smashing Pumpkins, Lionel, Anthony Gucciardi, Gerald Celente, Jakari Jackson, and Diamonds and Silk, and so many people, I can't even keep track of it all. Nigel Farage. Powerful transmission, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to be back tonight after a few hours. I'm about to continue broadcasting. I'm going to be back tonight. Leanne McAdoo is going to be here with the rest of the amazing crew and all the people behind the scenes. I want to go to a few of your calls before we go to Bracken. We're getting him on the line right now via video Skype so that you can get your points out. Then we'll take calls while he's on with us as well, because he's a well-rounded, smart guy and can comment on your geopolitical questions and comments. But undoubtedly, the police and military now get it. It's gone from being something that we thought was happening to we're sure of it now, 100%. The Democratic Party, working with multinational corporations, is beta testing a real civil war in America, activating black nationalists, Hispanic nationalists, Islamics, and when they attack, then civil emergencies declared, and then those that are critical of the takeover are the people that get arrested. Germany has now repealed its law post-World War II from 1945 in the Bundestag, Reichstag, in both upper and lower houses, to allow military on the streets for civil emergency and martial law. They're under a civil emergency, so is France, and they are arresting anyone even trying to demonstrate about open borders. This is the total completion of the tyranny. It's like your soldiers opening the drawbridge to the Huns or the Mongols. If you go back in history, this is unprecedented treachery by the left. It's against their own interest, but they have such a hatred and such a desire to pull down the Renaissance. They're Jacobins. If you study the French Revolution, it was different than ours. They were basically devil worshippers. And I've had top historians on, you name it, they all concur. Communism came out of the Jacobins. They wanted to have a 9-day work week, change everything, break up all the families, have like local slave masters that owned everyone. But they were calling it liberal to overthrow the civilization to bring in a hell. And George Orwell wrote about that in 1984. where O'Brien's torturing Winston, who's his archetype from the BBC or the Ministry of Truth. And he says, we want a world more ugly, where you live less, where you're ugly, where you're starving, where we stomp on your face forever. We're the